Hello, happy August 1st. I have to say, every August is like the Sunday of my life. I don't know if other people feel like this, and if you don't, I hate to even put it out there because you're more positive than I am. However, it is literally the August of my life. What's happening here? Oh, there. August is the Sunday, so waiting for schools to start in September here in New York is like, hi Joy, my kids are already on edge. Dylan's already crying about going to preschool, all of these things. So I'm just focused today on the fact that today is the first day since Saturday that I don't feel like garbage, and I'm actually have an appetite to drink a smoothie. So I thought I would come on here and do a little August kudos glam. So the kudos of the month, which is always our sale item, is all of our collections, and I think there's 5 or 6 of them, are all on sale. So they're all 20% off. So I'm going to use what comes in the Come Hither. So in the Come Hither, you get a foundation, a splash liquid lipstick, an eyeshadow palette, an eye pencil, and a mascara for $108. So that's basically most of what you need to do a complete face. Obviously, you can always add more, and I will today in my tutorial. But this way you can kind of see how you can bundle products together in the collections, and you really get a great value. So normally that collection's $135, which is still 30% off if you bought them all individually, but now it's $108 for the month of August. So I will do different collections every time I do a live so that you can kind of see what comes in them. And then obviously I'll add other things in that I would use anyway. But today we're going to use the Come Hither collection so you can kind of get a grip on that. So the first thing I'm going to do is go in with Touch Glorious Primer. Always, always, always prime your face. I say that all the time, but it kind of goes up there with like washing your face and those types of things for me. You need to prep your face. So you don't need a ton of this, just a little bit. This is like a pea-sized amount. One of these beauties usually lasts me at least 6 months. And I do my makeup every day. I don't just do my makeup when I do a live. There are some people who do that. Actually, last week I got together with a few girlfriends, and one of them never wears makeup, like ever, ever, ever wears makeup. And she was like, do you do this all the time? Like, do you dress all the time? And I really do, because if I'm not doing a live video, I'm going to work. I try to do a live every day that I'm not actually physically going to the office. And so if I'm not doing this on camera, I'm doing it anyway because I'm going to work for the day. And then on days where I guess I could take the day off of doing makeup, I'm doing a live. So I'm working this business. So yes, I put makeup on every day. I like to, though. Like, to me, it doesn't feel like a job. It's not like, oh, I have to go put makeup on. I enjoy this part. It's my creative, hi Jill, it's my creative outlet. And I don't get to do a whole lot of craft projects around the house with 2 boys. So this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at with that. I also have picked 2 different shades of lipstick, and I don't know which one I want. So I selected Snarky and Soulful, and I haven't quite gotten to where I want to do yet. So with the Come Hither collection, you can pick either a liquid foundation or a stick foundation. Because I did the liquid foundation in my live last night, I'm going to use the stick foundation today because I like to sort of really rotate through my products to show different things. That way, if you're just tuning in or you're new, you can kind of see like a whole variety of stuff. So I'm using the shade Eyelet in the stick foundation. If you're already a lover of our liquid foundation, then you can pick the same shade in the stick because they're going to be matched the same way. All right. So with the stick, cream foundations technically have more pigment than liquid foundations by about double. So if you don't like to use a lot of product but you want a lot of coverage, always pick a cream foundation. They're just going to cover better. So that's all that I put on for foundation. Hi, Juliana. I'm obsessed with our stick foundation. It's been out since March and they've already had to restock it twice because it's sold out. just to kind of give you an idea of how viral it has gone. It's the best thing since sliced bread. And I always blend my stick foundation out with our Kabuki brush. It's a dense, flat, really soft brush, and it just really tends to blend this out really nicely. So I just kind of pop it like this. It's called stippling. You just kind of bounce it around so that it fills in and blends everything out really nicely. The stick foundation just has such good coverage without looking heavy. That's my favorite part of it. When I used to have really bad acne, I used to need a lot of foundation to cover up my acne and make my skin look good. Well, it never made my skin look good. I always looked really cakey at the end. That's what I love about this, is I never look like I'm wearing a mask. Okay, blending it in. And always blend down your neck so that you have that sort of connection. Hi, Kristen. Oh, did you hear my voice like shake when I said that? We're using the collections today because all of the collections are 20% off for the month of August. Monica, how are you? Okay, so we're all blended in. I'm just going to pull my hair back because it's kind of in my way right now. All right, so stick foundation is on, and the next thing we're going to do is go in with Velour concealer. So Skin Perfecting Concealer. It's a small tube, but you really don't need very much of it. So I'm going to go with Velour because I don't want like a super duper crazy bright contour today. So I'm going with Velour. It's going to brighten it up, but it's not going to make it look like, you know, really aggressive. But I prefer to highlight and contour my face because I like the sort of the definition that it gives me. And I just feel like it brings out my bone structure really nicely. So I've kind of gotten hooked on highlighting, contouring. I'm no longer basic in that regard. All right, so I'm gonna actually spray, I didn't wash my sponge today, I'm sorry, but I am gonna spray it with rose water just to dampen it. I always like a damp sponge when I blend together. And I'm just gonna press that in, and you can kind of just see how it melts that line away. So you get the brightness, and it just sort of diffuses the edge and looks really natural. Blending into that stick foundation. Okay. So just sort of a natural brightness. Okay. There we go. And because I use rose water, it got even glowier. But I do love that about the stick foundation is it's going to give your skin moisture, hydration, and you're going to have like a dewy finish. All right, so now I'm going to set my concealer with Touch Behold setting powder. What this does is it sits on any cream liquid products that you have, and then it absorbs any extra oil or moisture that might get on your skin and ruin your makeup. Most of the time when your makeup is like rolling off your face, it's because there's a ton of product on there that is not set well, meaning that your liquid moisture content of your skin is literally shedding your makeup. So just going in and doing a nice translucent setting powder like this is going to save your makeup routine for the day. Especially if you are like a working mom type who puts their makeup on and then you're doing kids, you're doing work, you're doing school pickup line, you're doing dinner, you're doing a meeting afterwards. Like, you need makeup that you don't need to touch during the day. And that is exactly what I need when I'm like in the swing of things. Not having a week of sickness like I just had. Okay. So all blended in. It's not going to change the color of your makeup at all. It's just going to set it so that it doesn't move. And it feels totally weightless. Okay. Gorgeous. All right. Now where are we at? Let's do bronzer. Bronzer in the shade Malibu is my to-go-to today. The kids wanted smoothies. And I put way too much pineapple in it. It's sickeningly sweet. That's okay. I made them happy and they drank it. Okay, so Malibu Beachfront Bronzer. I tend to use bronzer in the summer because it gives you extra glow. And I feel like that's a very natural look in the summer. In the winter, I don't use as much bronzer. I usually use a pressed powder or a foundation stick to do my contour with. But for summertime, bronzer is totally it. Because it's a baked bronzer, it has a matte side and then it has a sort of shimmery side. So you get a little bit of extra glow when you add the bronzer. And a little goes a very long way, especially for me, who is the epitome of fair-skinned, and especially when you use the darkest bronzer that we have. But blending it out, you can see it doesn't get like fake looking. Dun dun. Get that forehead. Basically, when you're contouring your face, you want to go around the perimeter of it and just make sure that you find all of your bone structure and highlight it with the bronzer, just on the outsides. Get that jawline. Never neglect the jawline. Okay. We're good. It's hard to see what the comments. Alright. So when you highlight and contour your face, you're basically breaking up all that foundation that you put on. So what's good about that is that you're not going to have that flat appearance that you can sometimes get when you just cover your face with foundation, because what that does is it erases all the high and low points of your face. So that's why I feel like contouring is super important. It might not be important to everybody, but when you see the difference that it gives you, you probably will be more likely to agree with me. All right, so we're going to go in with blush, and I'm going to use the shade Sweet today because I just want a really neutral look, because I think I'm going to pop it with one of two sort of bolder lip looks. I haven't done a bold lip in a while, so I just wanted to go in with something very neutral, so I'm going to use Sweet today. And I'm going to use my Younique blush brush, just one dab into the blush pan, and you're going to have enough to go on your whole cheek. Don't be digging in there for days. You don't need to. Okay. Perfect. So that's the shade Sweet. Really, really neutral, pretty blush. All right, Brow Artist or Brow Obsession palette. Living for it. Living for it. Using it forever. Loving it the whole time. It's just a really versatile palette. This is the Brunette palette. So we have a blonde palette and we have a dark brown palette. I prefer the Brunette personally. But I like that I can go between these two shades and fill in my brow lighter or darker depending on my hair or my mood or whatever the case is. So as you age, your brows are going to get more sparse. So filling them in is going to like restore a little bit of that youth to your face. And that is basically my mission now at 34 years old, is to hack all of the things that restore youth, because Sometimes I look in the mirror and I can't believe I'm 34. I don't know how that happened. I was always the youngest. I was born in November, so of all my friends, I was always the last one to get their license, the last one to turn 18, the last one to turn 21, and I'm also the baby sister, so I had an older sister who got to do all these things, and I remember just feeling like it takes forever to get older, it takes forever to get here, and now that I'm 34, I'm like, well, that was nice while it lasted, and now people are like, when people use the phrase, when I'm your age, I hope. And I'm like, oh God, I'm a mentor now. That's a scary thing. So I'm doing a straight up powder brow today. I'm not adding any of the wax to it, just because I want a really soft, easy look. And sometimes when I add the wax, I just feel like it looks a little too Photoshop perfect, which can be a dead giveaway. But you can make your brows look like you were Photoshopped, if you're asking that. Okay. So what I do in the front of my brow is I just use whatever I have left on my brow brush and whatever is already on my brow to blend in, because what I want to do is create that soft sort of entry into my brow, because your brows normally are much more sparse in the front than they are in the back. So I just kind of mimic that by going really, really light. Hi, Elena. Hi, Anne-Marie. All right, brows are done. So another component of the Come Hither collection is a eyeshadow palette. So I'm going to use palette 1 today. I love palette 1 because it's all my browns. And when I want to go super duper neutral, this is kind of where I go. So I'm going to grab my fluffy crease brush. No, I'm not. My blending brush. I'm going to use my blending brush and I'm going to go in with this shade Swanky, which is sort of a metallic. It's kind of like a grayed out metallic. And I'm going to put Swanky in my crease, because it's lighter, but it's still got some pigment to it. And I really like that shimmer on it. So we're going with a light eye today because I'm going to do a bolder lip. Fun summer, but bold. So we're going to go in with Swanky over our lid and into the crease. And then I'm going to take it and just put it right on my lower lash line, sort of as a little powder liner. I never put actual eyeliner on my lower lash line. I feel like it looks way, way, way too heavy. All right, so Swanky is all blended in. And then with my finger, I'm going to go in with a matte color. So I'm going to go in with Elated, which is sort of like laid back. It's like a really creamy ivory. And I'm going to put it right on the inside corner of my eye, just to brighten it up a little bit. Like I said, I wanted to do a really simple eye today. Something to set that lip off with, because, Dolly, because you don't want to pick like way too many things to feature on your face. So today we're going to do the lip. Lip is the feature. Hello, beautiful. And when I'm blending on my eye, sometimes I just use my finger. Easier to control that way. Okay, so that's the Addiction 1 shadow palette. They just restocked 6, so if you like pinks and browns, that your brows, though, damn, they're real good, right? I just used the powder today. I didn't use any of the wax in it. I love the brow palette. Have you used your dark one? That dark one we got you? All right. Perfectly blended in. Okay, so another component of the Come Hither collection is a mascara. You can choose between our regular Epic or the 4D. Of course, I'm using the 4D because it's Life and it gives me fake lash look. So we're going to go in with 4D, and I do 2 coats of this, and I always let the first coat dry before I go in with the second because that just makes it that much better. So if you like pina coladas and dancing in the rain and false lashes, you're going to love this. I mixed the 2 colors in bit. Yes, so good. So good. And that brush, the brush makes it. I had originally tried limping along with like a liner brush that I had when I first got mine. Nowhere near as good. Okay, so the 4D, literally worth its weight in gold. There's no need for eyelash extensions after you try this puppy. Save you money. All right, so 1 coat, pretty good. 2 coats, even better. The best part is this wand. This wand has like 3 different kind of teeth on it. And what it does is it's able to separate your lashes right at the root so that they get really full right at your lash line. And that's, I feel like, what makes them look like false lashes, because you have that thickness instead of just length that gets all clumped together at the end. That brush makes it even hard to cry. The brush is the best. It's so pointed and like precise. I don't know. Hi, Crystal. How are you? It's so good. It stays really firm with all the product on it. It's just amazing. I can't wait to try it. Oh, I can't wait for you to try the mascara either. It came free with your order. It's so good. I have several backups here because I'm constantly afraid that it's going to go out of stock. So I was like, could you please deliver a pallet of it to my house? So I have a couple socked away. Okay. Firm size. Amen, sister. All right, so we're going to go in. I'm just using what's left over on my wand to do my lower lashes so that I don't get like that tarantula lash situation that I don't love. And then we have to pick a lip color. We have to pick a lip. So I want you to think about it for a second. I picked 2. So we have Soulful, which is more of a pink red. And then we have Snarky, which is like a purpley pink. So you pick and tell me which one you think. I don't know which one to go with, but we have Soulful and Snarky. And we're going to do one of them today because I went super neutral so that I could hold one of these and not look like a drag queen. Snarky it is. Okay, so let's go in with a little highlighter. I'm going to go in with Iridescent, which is my really like prismatic, why can't I open this? Fairy kind of white look. Super iridescent, nice bright white, and it just makes your skin glow like the best. I love Snarky too. It's so good. Well, I used to wear purple all the time because I have green eyes and it sets off the green eyes. And then I started branching out, so I don't wear it as often as I used to. But I'm always Snarky in real life, so I feel like I didn't need to. All right, down your nose, tip of your nose, over your brow, and Cupid's bow because we like that big juicy lip. All right, so I am going to line my lips with an eyeliner. So this is the shade Prim. This comes in the Come Hither collection. So if you don't use eyeliner, you can get Prim and use it as a lip liner. It's a little bit of like a cappuccino brown, but I like to lightly line my lips with it because I need very little product. But it makes that outer rim sort of like if you've ever seen anyone with lip injections like I need, you'll notice that they have a very precise border around their lips, that shadow, and that's what sets their lips up to look really big and plump. And I freaking love big, juicy lips. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to make an apology for it. They're the best thing ever. So we're going to fake it till we make it, and we're going to use Prim eyeliner to do that. So if I'm quiet for a second, it's just because I'm concentrating on the gloriousness that is a perfect lip. So I just go slightly under my lip. It's called overlining. So I just go slightly on the underside of my lip so that I get that lift. Wait for Botox bash, girl. We are doing lips and all the fillers. Hi, Anne-Marie. I'm doing my lips there too. You can hold my hand. Okay. So another signature of a lip injection lip is that perfect Cupid's bow. So that's that part of your lip right in the center. And you want to make sure you get that nice and set off. Okay, we're firming up the date. I think it's going to be September 7th at the Williams Center, but we're just making sure that everything is like all written out on contract before we commit to anything. But right now I think it's September 7th. Hi, Terry. Honestly. Okay, so that's Prim eyeliner, and I'm just going to blur it out a little bit with my finger before I go in with Snarky. Okay, so we're going to go in with Splash Liquid Lipstick, also part of the Come Hither collection. This is the shade Snarky. It's sort of like an orchid pink purple. Really pretty. It's not, you know, obviously not every lip color is everybody's cup of tea, but if you're going to go super neutral with your face, all your makeup, make your lips stand out. You would be amazed, and I never used to be a lip person because I thought I looked weird. Ugh, love you. See you later. I always thought that I looked kind of weird with like a bold lip, but now I love it. All right, so with Splash, you want to make sure your lip is totally dry first. And the best part is this applicator allows you to perfectly blend it out. Don't smoosh your lips together, you know, back and forth like this. Just make sure the applicator does the work. Okay. Perfect. And I'm going to grab a little bit of that Velour cream concealer that we used for our under eye, and I'm just going to pop that right in the center. And when I say a little bit, I mean literally the littlest bit. I'm just going to ombre it out in the middle and give it a little lift right in the center, and that makes for like a juicier sort of lip. And we're going to blend that out with a little of the Hottie Lip Plumper to just gloss over the top. All right. Itchy eyes. There must be something blooming in the area. Okay, so Hottie Lip Plumper. Oh my god, the best stuff ever. So not only is it super glossy, but it's going to plump your lips like double the size. And whenever I ombre out my lip with a concealer, I always add this at the end because it just melts those two colors together really nicely and sets your lip off. And it tastes like peppermint and it doesn't sting. Best. Okay, so last but not least, I'm going to go in with Touch Behold Setting Spray. This binds all of my makeup together so that it won't move at all during the day. And it's basically like a hairspray for your face. So you use hairspray to hold your style in. You're going to use this. It melts everything together so that it's going to be less likely to move around all day, and it dries to a matte finish. So my face looks a little glowy and wet right now, but it will dry and be perfectly matte at the end. And it doesn't sting. It's got a really nice, soft fragrance. Hi, Amina, my favorite yellow status chick. So it doesn't sting, it doesn't burn. I have very, very sensitive eyes and skin. There are a lot of skincare and cosmetics brands that I can't wear because it bothers my face so bad. I get itchy, I get hives, my eyes swell shut. Like, it's really, really not good. Nothing in Younique has ever done that for me. Hello, happy August. So once this is all dry, you'll see that it just maintains the glow and it locks everything in place. All right, there we go. Good to go. All right. So there you have it. There is the Come Hither collection, which is 20% off for the month of August. What color are the lips? I used Snarky Splash Liquid Lipstick, and then I put a little bit of Velour concealer just in the center of it to make that little bright spot pop out. Love, love, love Snarky. It's like a more purple version of Subtle. It's amazing in the fall too, and I don't want to talk about fall because who wants to talk about fall? Thank you. Who wants to talk about fall in the summer? Not me. I'm a summer girl. It's either summer or I'm preparing for Christmas, and then December 26th I'm ready for summer again. So that's kind of how the seasons go for Megan Barkovich. But I love this color year round. It's really fun. It's not your typical pink lip, but it's not so far off that you feel like you're wearing a costume. You know what I mean? All right, so I'm going to make my bed so that you don't see my messy room. And then I will take a unfiltered selfie. You can't deal with Christmas. Amina, let me help you with that. Christmas is like my most happiest time of year, like decorating and all of that stuff and baking cookies. And, you know, it's stressful too, because my kids are greedy little trolls who want all the things for Christmas. But it's so fun. Like, my husband now goes all Clark Griswold on our house and gives you anxiety. My husband, his parents were divorced when he was a kid. And so Christmas was always a stressful time for him because he had to go back and forth between his parents, and like it just never seemed like super it never seemed like a super fun time because it was just stressful. So when he met me and I was all like, woo, Christmas, he's like, oh man, like I hate Christmas. So I've worked very hard over the last 17 years to get him to love Christmas. And now he does. And now he's like totally a freak for like, the kids have to have a perfect Christmas. It's got to be perfect for the kids. So now he goes, thank you very much. So now he goes totally bananas on the outside of the house, and we are like the Griswolds. Every year he's like researching what he can do, what he could build, how he could do it. So he wants us to have eventually one of those houses with like the Trans-Siberian Orchestra music playing and like the lights that go to music and all that kind of stuff. We're not there yet, but he's made a lot of friends in the Christmas light extravaganza community who have all offered to help him program these lights so that we can eventually be one of those obnoxious houses. But I would rather that than be like, you know, no Christmas spirit. So I said to him the other day, what if we put a thing out on the neighborhood website about like everybody decorating their house? And he was like, people are going to hate you. I'm like, okay, so maybe I won't do that. But in an ideal world, Country in the South would look like a little Christmas village and everybody would participate and it would be beautiful and we would go around caroling and drop off cookies at everybody's house. That's the kind of world I want to live in. So I will be ever vigilant to put that out into the universe and hope that it actually happens in real life, because that is the only part of winter that makes winter tolerable for me, is Christmas. After that, it needs to be summer again. But I get a little bit of time to enjoy Christmas. All right, with that, this look all brought to you by the Come Hither collection, which is $108 for the month of August. Take a look at all the collections though, because there might be different ones that you think suit what you need in your makeup kit even better. But if you need to be color matched for anything, or if you have questions on products or shades or whatever, just let me know and I'm always happy to help. Hi, Ashley. But yeah, that's the Come Hither collection. It's a really great starter to build onto for your collection. You know, what can I say? $108 is pretty good for the bulk of what you need in your makeup kit. All right, so I am off to do all the mom things now, and then I will post an unfiltered selfie with all of the details for today's look on it. And then if you want to go shopping, you know where to do it. I'll talk to you guys later and see you on Saturday.